Hi, this is Will from ODPI, Other Dimensions Paranormal Investigations. Now, we've started to do our investigations, and this will be the first video of some of the stuff that we've found. The first location that we've found is in the state of California, in the city of Folsom. Our first investigation was of a building that now, in modern times, is a corner bistro on the upstairs. And we first did an initial look, but when we did our first initial look, there were still people there. They were closing down and so on and so forth. So there is going to be a little bit of background noise, people talking and such, that we have been able to identify these people were in the background and so on. And they're usually 2 rooms away, but small sounds can be heard. The next piece of video was done in the same location, but once the place had closed down and we were staying overnight, my partner, Karen, was taking care of part of this. Now, the way we set up this particular camera was on one of the squeakiest parts of the floors, or exactly where we set the camera, and then we set the camera looking down a hall in front of a mirror. Now, the reason why we did this is so that you can hear or see anyone approach the camera, just in case. Now, on this, there is the first noticeable thing is that the camera readjusts its focus as if something walked in front of it, but there's nothing there. And then after that happens, you can hear breathing, and then a couple of bangs that we don't know where these sounds are coming from. The first very part of this video will be my partner Karen, who is setting up the camera and so on and so forth, and letting you know that I asked to set this up. And then she walks away, and in the mirror, on the far end, the center of the picture, you can see her actually leave the area. And then she walks a little way and then goes into another room and closes the door, at which point things get a little weird. This is just another little thing that the picture is all black, and so we really just want you to pay attention to the audio. Now, this once again happened while there was no one else in the building except for Other Dimensions. And we have an odd sound. Now, we're not saying this sound is particularly of a paranormal situation, but we can't figure out what it is any other way. So we present it to you as well as a possibility, not for sure. This next piece was recorded earlier in the day while there were some people there, but there was 3 or 4 people around the camera at the time. All of them were my staff, and including myself. You can hear my partner Karen at first, and then one of our investigators, Dan, at which point he actually asks, hey, if you want us to leave this room, because there's one particular room in this building that is definitely active. And he requests that, hey, you want us to go? Just let us know, and we'll go, at which point something responds back.
Ask questions and leave a space. This is in the massage room and next to the hall.
Hey, remember me. I'm the one that calls you nothing. I need to know if you can reach out to us. Say hello. Ask me to leave and I will. make a noise.
This is just a quick little thing that we caught. We're not even sure what it is, but from the angle that it's coming from, there could not be a light source taking this picture. We thought about it. We thought maybe there was one of our other investigators taking pictures with a camera or something, but at the time there was no one taking still photos, and so the quick flash that happens in the left-hand corner over and over again, we do not know the source of that light. This next one is kind of tricky and interesting. The first part of the video that you're going to see has been contrasted. I changed the contrast on it a little bit because it was actually, the first part of this was filmed in the relative dark because we were trying to get a version of a piece, trying to figure out what was going on. Now, there is a window on the side piece, and the last part of this video shows you the window as the camera pans. And we had realized that cars driving outside could have light reflect off of their car and reflect through this window up onto this wall. And so we filmed it numerous times, and it's on a corner, and so we filmed what happens if the light comes, if the car comes from one way or comes from the other, and that's why it says car in the video, and you can tell there's a distinct difference. But then after we show you a couple of, this is what a car looks like, we have a couple of more on the same wall in the same location, which is the room that is definitely active, that looks nothing like cars going by. These last three pictures that I'm about to show you here, the first one is down in a hallway, and all three of these shots are actually towards the same location, just at different angles during different times. Now, these pictures were taken during 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and there was no one in the building except for the investigators. Now, the first picture that I want to show you is of a stained glass window. Now, it's not clear, and we're not saying for sure, hey, look, this is a ghost, but it definitely seems to us that there is someone on the other side of the stained glass window when we knew for a fact that there was nobody there. This last one is kind of a traditional orb. We've looked at it a couple times, and we've tried to figure out if there's a refraction angle or if it's a lens flare or something like that. But on closer examination of it, we were able to figure out that we do not know if it is a lens flare, where the source is directly coming from, because there's no direct line of where it should be. As well, the lens flare, if you look at it closely, doesn't look like a standard lens flare. It has texture within the center, and there's a silver ring that goes all the way around it. So, this is what we found within the first investigation of Other Dimensions Paranormal Investigations. Other Dimensions do not suggest in any way, shape, or form that what we have shown you is fake. It is what we recorded, it is what we have found, and we are now sharing it with you. Thank you very much for your time.